So this is my review on the third installment and the final installment in the Creepshow trilogy, what are words to describe this? Well, there are no compliments. Well, positive ones, anyway. But the comments or compliments are just straight up negative for this movie. It's just, what went wrong with this movie? What happened? You know, when you get into a franchise, then you some point down the line, at some point in a movie franchise or a TV show franchise, you're wondering, how the fuck did you miss the mark this bad? Like, yet it is not only like, not that you failed at doing what you were doing, you failed and didn't stick with the formula or use the basic premise of the formula of what you created for the first installment of the first season of show, or the first installment of a movie, or a book, or a comic. It's like, Creepshow 3 is like, okay, imagine, Batman has his costume in the first issue, and he has the Batman tie and everything. It's his debut appearance. And he has the tag costume and the Bat name. And he keeps the Batman name. But in the second issue, he decides to become a fucking nudist. Covered in blood. And pig shit, too. A fucking nudist covered in blood and pig shit. Literally pig shit. And literally blood. That's what Creepshow feels like. Not the first two, the third installment. That's what the third installment to Creepshow feels like in a nutshell. It's like, hey, I'll make a Sesame Street tie-in, but I'll make Elmo a blimp vampire, and I'll make it NC-17 so the kids can watch and go, whoopee, my character, Elmo, is sucking on blood and feasting on the flesh. That doesn't even sound right. If you're going connected to something that's already going on, but not even going to try to get the basic premise or tone of what was going on, whatever it was, this franchise, then why make it a movie anyway, or have it even have the same title as the first movie? Just make it a completely different movie, or you just use a different title. It could be anything. It can be this constipation of the bloody toilet or something, because that's somehow, that made up title just made up myself, unless that's a real movie that I don't know of yet, and someone used that title. The constipation of bloody toilet is what this film should be called. It shouldn't be called Creepshow, is what it should be. Because, my God, what the fuck were they drinking when they wrote this script? And the script, oh my God. Sorry, I almost threw up, because the script makes it so nauseating. It makes me want to throw up because it's sickening what you decide to do with the third one. You didn't even kept the same premise that the first two had. Okay, those who haven't seen the first two ones or the source material of this movie's based off of, or any Stephen King stuff, good Stephen King stuff, that's not this. And I'm talking about like his like writing, not the movies, because honestly those are his hit and misses. Or sometimes don't even watch them. This is don't even watch them. Not worth your time on this planet, don't even watch them, or you'll regret it for the rest of your life. That's the kind of movie Creepshow 3 is. Now, the premise to Creepshow, whole premise of Creepshow is that, okay, the premise is a horror genre, but there's several stories, unconnected and unrelatable, completely, and separate from the other stories. As in, they do not connect at all 100%. I mean, they're basically they're basically mini stories. It's like reading a book and watching, or you kind of like basically okay, like imagine you know how like they used to make back when people made newspapers, they used to have. Well, I don't know if people still make newspapers. They probably do it, but people get newspapers anyway. Basically, when people still read newspapers, there were things called the funnies. And they were comics, separate comics, but they had a common thing that they were usually meant to make you laugh. And each story was completely unconnected and took place in its own batshit continuity. As in its own timeline, its own Elseworld. It never crossed, ever. The streams, never crossed, never did crossovers, okay? That's the premise for Creepshow. That is the main premise, what you have to do for Creepshow. That is all you had to do for the third one. It might, if you had like a terrible ideas, you could have at least had that premise. Have each horror story take separate times and separate worlds that never connect. Because when they connect, you get Creepshow 3. Yeah, this one, there's not only several stories, they somehow want to connect all of them. And oh my god, it doesn't make sense however you think about it. And the more you think it'll try to make sense, the more nauseous you feel. And bad about yourself you feel. And look, another problem I have with this movie is like, okay, the Creepshows weren't really that serious, the first two ones. But they were Sons of the Lambs quality compared to the first one. I mean, the third one. Compared to the next to the first two ones, comparing. I mean, that's how serious the first two ones compared to the third one is. Because, oh my god. There is so much cringe in the comedic timing. And what it does makes me question so many things. Was the tone be all over the place? Directing is fucking weird. it's very inconsistent with the style. I mean, yeah, you can understand, you can argue the first two are very inconsistent in style, but however, those had different styles for separate stories that didn't connect at all. This one has a single story and several stories within a single story, single time frame of a story for the third one. So when you use different styles of filmmaking or budget or different types of or different budget for some things else, or low budget or a higher budget for some other stuff, sorry, you get a mess. And that's what this thing is. It's a mess. Look, I'm going to try to I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't remember really any of the stories what these ones told. No matter how many times I see the third one. And yeah, it's been watching for over 2 years since I seen the first one. I mean, third one, this one, the third installment. But I remember not wanting to go back to visit this. And I don't want to go back just so I can reenact each story beat that connects to each one. Because I think I'm going to have a hard time reviewing it and talking about it because my main brain will be rotting, probably. Because everything's all smushed together. It feels like all these stories are all crammed and smushed and claustrophobic. All together feels like it feels awful. It plays out awful. It's awful. And I will say there is one story I remember from the third one. Okay. You're going to probably vomit after this. We hear the story from the third one. That's, again, all these several stories in the third one are connected in the same timeline and the same universe. Not like the first two. The first twos are the polar opposite for Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2. Holy crap. You might want to get a dog back because this is going to make you sick. So, you ever seen the Scooby-Doo movies from the 2000, the first two live-action Scooby-Doo movies? Well, the guy that plays Shaggy is in this movie. He also was in this ain't the first scary movie. This ain't the first scary movie he was in, but it probably was the last. I think it was. I'm not sure. Mine's a little cloudy right now from this movie I'm talking about. So he was in Scream, the first one, before this. And, you know, I like him as an actor. The guy who plays Shaggy, I think he's a great actor and all. But he has the worst track record for roles. Like, the worst. And after you see this movie, if you see this movie, and after I talk about the plot, this is what he usually picks for roles. Instead of picking stuff like Scooby-Doo 1 and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, he picks stuff like Creepshow 2. I mean, Creepshow 3. This one. What I'm talking about usually when he comes to roles of his career. And okay, you can tell I'm obviously trying to avoid talking about this story. That's in this. The story was in multiple stories that all connected somehow. Okay. So him and his best friends go over to this old man's house, who obviously got this girlfriend. He obviously got he got this girlfriend, and she's really nice, and apparently I guess these guys are too stupid because they never heard of the fucking internet, where you can order a girl offline from another country. Because that's what the guy did and dated this girl and really loves this girl. So, they think she's a robot. Oh. Now, you're probably wondering what can possibly go wrong with this premise. This sounds funny. Take her apart, limb by limb, in comedic fashion. I'm not kidding you. The director thought this would be a good idea to play slapstick comedy music over all of this scene, all of the massacre, and treat it like it's a comedy. And I am getting sick watching that scene every time when I'm having time and thinking about it, apparently, and talking about it. So, yeah. If any of you who are bold enough to, or strong enough, have the willpower to hold their upchuck from coming out, you have my respect. So, it gets weird. It's not funny weird, more like a freaky, disturbing weird. You would think after the kill the girl and see the blood coming out, they would stop. Or when the, just take one little part off of her, but she's still alive, they would stop, but they don't. They don't. They don't. They just keep on going for it. And going for it. And taking out her part and see how she functions. Because they still think she's a robot. And they're completely oblivious that they murdered a person. That seemed like a perfectly nice lady. A very young, pretty like nice lady, too young, probably old man, but they seem happy together. They basically took her life and ruined this man's life. And the worst part of this, they actually taste the blood from the intestine dripping. I think it's corn syrup. And this one all covered in blood from head to toe, and they're all smiling. Like, oh my God, look! They're like this. They're like, oh my God, look how realistic it looks. It jiggles like a real body even. Part. It's like, this is awakening some serious negative emotions in me. And I don't know why I'm laughing. I might be just losing it a little bit from this talking about this movie and realize how this movie might have been probably broken, made me more crazier than I was. because I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm scared. So, and that's the kind of story that, like that story I just told you, this tells. Those type of stories, and with some taken more serious than others, some taken more funny than others. It's like, and when I said like the tone is all over the place, I mean they can't keep a single consistent tone for each story. Like, the stuff that you think that'll be very horrifying is, yes, the director wants to come play off as very funny, meaningful, but it's just sick. It's sick. It's a sick movie. It's not right in the head. Whoever wrote this needs to be locked in a mental institution and heavily medicated on antipsychotics and probably never released until he's realized what he's done. Or maybe he won't, but just leave him there. This movie's, wow. And you wanna know how they found he killed an actual living being? They found this receipt to return the girl if the relationship's not running smoothly, so she can go back to her own country. Receipt. So what did he do? Turn himself in? Tell the old man we murdered because we thought your person was a robot? Confess their sins to God? Damnation to hell? How do you think this outcome is going to end for them? They get away scot-free and stuff all the boy pots in the oven! And lock the oven and stuff the rest of the boy pots, had the other half in the refrigerator! And run out the fucking door and escape, and they never get caught! Oh, go to hell, movie. Go to literal hell for doing that. For writing this whole thing. This writing any ideas, every idea you had, it's official. This is one of the movies where I can say every idea this movie had in the script that made it the final product, the final cut of the film that was released worldwide, was a bad idea. Even the title, Creepshow 3, Creepshow my ass. You're not even trying to make this like the other two. You didn't keep the same format. I mean, well, hopefully the Creepshow show on Amazon Prime is like the first two, isn't good. Because this movie is so bad, it makes me more hurl. It's like, think about it and talking about it, apparently. So yeah, this gets a 0 out of 10. I'm done. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, but I know I didn't go that much into the stories, like the stories, but I guess I'm done. I'm done with this review. I'm off. I'm out. Bye.